All right. Here we go. Another day, another dollar. Welcome aboard, everybody. It is Thursday, January 28th, and if you are on the Pacific Coast, it is 5:52 Pacific Standard Time. Would like to welcome everybody on board once again. Hi, Captain Cooper. Good to see you here, my friend. And we are here in this Beechcraft 390 Premier 1A, and we are most certainly getting ready to head on over to Palm Springs and then on over to Santa Barbara. So I hope everyone is well, and we'll just take a second here to get some information put into our flight monitor there. So you should see that update here shortly. And you can see here we will be departing Lake Havasu City on over to Palm Springs, and it's a very short flight, and all the flying today hopefully is short. If we do well enough when we get to Santa Barbara, we may even swing down to San Diego. We'll see how that goes. Again, hope everybody's well. We did a stream yesterday. I thoroughly enjoyed it. We are flying on PilotEdge today here, and we will try to adhere and obey all of the rules and regulations so that we don't get in trouble. Once again, as you always know, I have you guys on board so you can give me some tips and advice, and always let me know what I'm doing wrong so we can correct it on the spot. As you can see here, we are on the ramp here in Lake Havasu, and you see at the rear of the aircraft the ground power unit is on, and we also have the cabin open with the rear baggage door open. So let's just circle around here and see what we get. I do have the sim. It is about in the simulator sometime 10 a.m. in the morning today, so we're able to play a little bit of time traveler here when we're in the sim so that we can get a good shot of our flight today instead of seeing darkness. So as you can see here, guys, we are ready to go. Hi, honey. My wife is saying hi. How are you? Thanks for the support as always, and the kids and the cat and the house. And if there's any other spirits in here, thanks for joining the stream as well. They're all good spirits, good vibes, and good, solid, positive energy today. So without further ado, let's get on board and get out of here so that we can figure out what's going on with our life after we fly today. Alright, here we are on board, of course, and let's go ahead and we'll shut the music off for the time being. And you can see here now I am able to turn our comms up, so you're going to start hearing some air traffic control come in since we are on there. Now, Lake Havasu City is an uncontrolled airfield, so I could technically take off VFR and get in the sky and then file the flight plan, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to use this general frequency here, and we'll make a call on over to we should be in Albuquerque Center this far over, so we'll just call clearance delivery and tell them that we're at Lake Havasu, and then of course go from there. So again, let me make sure those volumes are all turned up here, which they are, COM 1 and COM 2. There is no ATIS. The winds are out of the west. They're calm right now, but they were out of the west recently, so we'll figure out what we're doing on our departure. Let's see here. Let's make this happen. Clearance delivery, November 350 Kilo Tango here at Lake Havasu on the ground, looking for IFR to Palm Springs.
Number 350 Kilo Tango, LA Center Roger, cleared to the Palm Springs Airport as filed, maintain 14,000. Departure frequency 134.65, squawk 3073, all for release.
Cleared to the Palm Springs Airport is filed. Climb maintain 14,000. Departure frequency is 134.65, squawking 3073, and we will hold for release.
0 Kilo Tango, the readback is correct. Just let me know when number 1 for departure. I'll have the release for you then for exchange is approved.
Okay, we'll let you know we're number 1 for departure. Until then, frequency change approved over 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, so now the reason why he's saying frequency change approved is because we also have to make sure that we are communicating on the Unicom here at this field. So let's get our squawk in there, 3073. For whatever reason, this aircraft has a glitch. It will not let you even go to standby in this. It'll turn it back on right away, see? So it doesn't matter. But anyway, we're just going to plug that in, 3073. So now we have our squawk in there. And then, of course, our departure frequency is 13465. So what we can do is come over here and put it in our secondary, 134.650. We can go ahead and see if it'll take it there. Let's hit the radio 13465. So it's right there, just in case we want to communicate off there right off the bat. And of course,
Alaska 1945.
we can come over here now.
Contact, climb and maintain flight level 190.
190, Alaska 1945.
To the charts, get the airport information, and here's the Unicom frequency here at 12270. So we'll plug that in now and most certainly switch that. So now we don't have to talk to anyone else right now other than making our announcements. Here we are. We're going to go ahead. There's a northern runway here, and if you look at the other end of the runway, there is a southern runway, and the winds are calm. So perhaps we will take off from runway. Either way, it doesn't matter. Let's look at the terrain first around the runway, and let's see what we're working with. So we have some mountains here. So essentially, if we take off in a southern route, we will miss this, and we won't even have to make those turns to hit those mountains. But we will need to turn over here really quick and get on course here. So let's depart southern, and we already have that altimeter, so we'll choose the southern runway. And let's go back to our map view now. Let's zoom in back into the field. There we go. So we'll take a southern runway. And you can see right now, if you were to get on this heading, this is 180. So we'll figure this is almost over here. This is 180. This should be 210, 240, and 270. So if we can look at 180 and this is 210, perhaps we'll set our heading right now over to perhaps, let's say, like 200, or let's do 205 and see how that does. And actually, we need to make it deeper than that because we need to intercept that, so we can actually even just plan on doing a heading of 240 until we get over to where we need to go. So let's go ahead and put our heading of 240 in. Again, welcome aboard, everybody, and hopefully this is painless today. So there is a heading of 240. Now, without further ado, let's consider our departure handle. We're taking a southern runway, and now we can most certainly come over here. Here's where the door is. If you can see, we're on the passenger cabin now. Let's go ahead and close this door back here as well. So we'll secure that door up back there, and we're going to get this door closed here. And we'll just use the interface to close this door. So let's close our rear baggage door, and let's close the main door. Alright, main door is up and sealed, and now we can actually close the captain's sliding doors here. Alright, passengers are on board, and they are no longer to look in the cabin. The rear of the cabin is secure, the cabin door is secure, and the pilot cockpit is all secure. So back in we go. So now what we need to do, of course, is there is no APU on this, or like our larger aircraft, we are on ground power. So let's observe that. Let's get our boost pumps on for engine start. And we also need to, let's see if we can get rid of this armrest. So we don't need that. Alright, that should be good enough. Now what we have to do is come down here and make sure we're turning on all of our rudder boosts and trim rolls and boosts and all that. We don't need engine sync on right now, so we're good there. Now, of course, we do need to come and put this ignition all the way up to the on position, and then we also need to turn the ECU on. And now that that is all clear, the last thing we need to do is jump up top, of course, and now we need to get that beacon on to let folks know that the aircraft is getting ready to come alive. Let's also come up top and make sure that we get our non-smoking and seatbelt lights on. All the masters are on. That looks good. And now we can simply do the fun part. So we're going to hit this button here. It's going to start the right engine. And you see the N2 coming up. So as it's doing that, it comes up pretty quick. There's a little click spot right here. And then you got to turn the fuel on for that side. Alright, and the fuel is coming up. Let's see, that is pretty quiet. Let's see the volume here. Looks like it's all the way down. We can maybe turn it up a little. Oh, we muted it. That's not good. Alright. We'll leave those volumes about right there. And hopefully they won't be too quiet. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start the second engine. And we can see N1 coming up as well. There's our N2. More than enough for us to introduce fuel. Alright. Okay. Man, those sounds are really coming in super quiet. Which is peculiar. I wonder what this slider... Okay, that's the only slider there. We'll probably leave it up all the way up. And see how that goes. Let me guys know if there's going... Hey, Chief Sim Pilot. How are you doing? Thanks for joining the stream. Awesome stream today. Very entertaining. Okay, folks. Now that we do have the engine... both engines all turned on. And, of course, we're observing that the parking brake is set. We need to go ahead and come over here and turn our generators on, and then we can most certainly get rid of that ground power, which we're on right now. Now there is no button in here per se other than this to extinguish the ground power, so essentially we just want to make sure our voltages are good, and everything is good, and we're gonna watch the ground power disappear as we disconnect it. So these voltage here should go to 0, and it did exactly that, so we're good. We're on the generator, and we have our boost pumps on. Everything's looking good. Now, of course, we need to come over here and turn the pilots on, and we'll turn our stab to auto, and our anti-skid is going to go to normal. And now we can actually put our ignitions into the arm position, and let's take a look what else we have here. And everything else is off, of course. And let's see, we're going to keep our cabin altitude to auto. And okay, now here's another thing that we always need to pay attention to. This is the ProLine 21 avionics suite. So we want to make sure that right now the bearings and course indicators are all off. We want it to follow the FMS. So in order to do that, the first thing we need to do is hit this nav bearing, and we need to choose the source, and we do so by scrolling this down, or maybe it oh, you got to click into there. That was the problem. Then you're going to choose FMS1, and so that one is good. And we also want to come over here and do the same thing, and this one is already selected, so that's good. And then of course if you click it again, you'll see everything else is on FMS. Come back over to the bearings, and this preset is for the VOR, so you can also come over here and click that to FMS. And now we have some information. Here's some other information here about our comm channels, our squawk code, the current which is the Zulu time in the takeoff outside air temperature, and our COM 2. Now we also need to come over here and look at our VREFs. So you can see here our VREFs are already plugged in. Our VROTATE is right at about 123, V1 115, and then our climb out's at 135, and clean up should be right at 140. So there's no worries there, and we already know once we get up in the air, we'll be heading south. We'll be doing a right turn to 240 to intercept our navigation piece there. As far as the radar, we will essentially, more than likely, just activate the radar information on this side. Let's see here. Okay, we'll keep the radar on both, and I'll tilt it up later. So we want to have that because we do have some terrain that will be in our area. So let's get rid of these refs here, and make sure we're keeping everything here. Flight Director V-bar, which it will be. Okay, and we're back to this, and of course we can hit this for our en route timer. And if we want to do traffic, we can put traffic, and here's the terrain or the radar. We're selecting terrain for right now, simply because, and let me see if this one, actually I want the terrain on this one, and we'll keep this one on the radar. Let's see here. You know, this thing used to let us do separate sides, but I'm going to keep it on the terrain right now. There we go. That's what I wanted. I wanted this one with this profile, and I wanted this one there. And let's also increase the range there to 10. And of course, we need to get our flight directors on. Now our flight director's on, and we are supposed to climb and maintain 14,000. So let's get that. Now that's up to flight level 14,000. And lastly but leastly, we want to select our flaps to take off. So we're selecting those to flaps 10. And we'll have to get on pretty much good power. Well, this aircraft really only requires 5,800 feet at flaps 10, so that's a good thing. Annunciator is good, and we can come down here. We have to always make sure our pitch trim is in the green, which it is very much in the green here. Let's bring it maybe down just a little bit so it's right in the middle. So I'm happy with that, and yeah, everything else here is ready to go. So without further ado, let's go ahead and make our announcement, and we'll put on our taxi light and get out of here. See strobe nav landing. So in this one pretty much just has there is no per se taxi light. So we'll just turn our light on there, and everything else is good to go. Now, one thing you guys cannot forget about, we need to pull this out for our oxygen. If we were doing the checklist, that would definitely be something there. So that's pulled out for the oxygen. For the pressurization, everything else is in auto. And we are ready to depart. Let's just double check our GPS there one more time. Okay, everything looks good there. And let's see, we will be taxiing. The primary taxiway looks like it is... it's not giving me the name of it. I believe it's Alpha. I'll check my other chart here. Thought I saw it said Echo there for a second. Usually it gives you the taxiways, but anyway, let's go over here and check. And let me check on the chat anyway before we leave, and it is going to be taxiway Alpha. All right, what do we got here? Austin Master, how are you doing? So I got Xpilot working, but voice won't connect. I can still receive private messages, though. Any suggestions? We'll check that out in the air. App those sentiments, just keeping what we do going forward. We will be here as long as my eyes can stand. LOL. All right, we'll appreciate that, Chief Sim Pilot. We always appreciate your support. And so let's get rolling. Lake Havasu traffic, number 350 Kilo Tango is here at the ramp. Is a Beechcraft Premier 390 Premier 1A. We'll be taxiing to runway 14 for departure to the south on Alpha for Lake Havasu traffic. All right, so that is all good. Let me slide up just a little bit here, get my controls situated before we call action. All right, here we go. Parking brake is released. All right, so we'll come here so that we don't, even though we'll be going to the left for our departure, we want to enter taxiway Alpha appropriately. All right, folks. Again, flying time on this first one is only about 35 minutes. That's the reason why we're only going up to 14,000 feet. And you can almost see that wind sock right there. You can see the winds are almost favoring the takeoff in this runway too, but it's really a crosswind if you see that. But it should be just fine in order for us to taxi this way. All right. Here in a second, we'll switch over and put our departure frequency in there and get ready for immediate dust off. And this will go full distance. Austin Master, is your last name Sanchez or Sanchez? My last name is actually Sanchez with the accent mark over the A, Austin Master. Sometimes I don't do it when I write it, especially on the computer, because you got to go find a special character, but that's what it is. My wife, actually, if you see, she's in the stream, Austin Master, she actually did put the accent mark over the A. Like a good wife she is. Alright, rolling right along. Again, these are going to be some short hops today here, folks. Once we get in the air, we will go ahead and maybe put some jams on. We'll see how that goes, of course. Again, those sounds are so low today, so I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, no worries there. Alright, you can see our profile there. Alright, let's go ahead and get ready to switch our information over here, and then of course we're going to be putting our departure frequency in there, which is 134.65, even though I already have that over in the other one. So once we get in the air and get on course, we'll go ahead and go over to departure, and everything here will be a VFR. There are no proximate class Bravo or Charlie airspaces, and where we have any problem, our biggest thing is navigating these mountains, making sure we have a safe enough takeoff. So we now are at the base of runway 14. And we can observe here parking brake is set. So let's come down here now and put in our departure frequency of 134.65. Bam. So now that's the actual Los Angeles center is the departure that we're in. So that should be the actual center itself. So there's our departure. And folks, we are ready to go. Let me check one thing. It's kind of dark in this cockpit, which I don't know why it always gets. Let's see. Light master's on. Let's see. I know there's a way. Let's see. We need the light master on. I know there's a way to dim these bad boys down, because here's the lights it's cutting on. Let's do dim, cockpit, flood. And the display should be all the way up. It's just looking, this thing sometimes with X-Plane it looks dark, but now it looks much better. We've got some illumination there, and I'm very happy with that. Clearance delivery, November 350 Kilo Tango here at Havasu City. Number 1 in sequence, ready for departure. Alright. I get nervous. Oh, you know what? We were some reason this had switched over to comms too. I'm like, wait a minute, it's too quiet. So there's two areas to switch over. So we will try that again. Hey Leo, what's up? How you doing? Thanks for joining the stream, brother. Just in time for a good takeoff. Austin Master says I look like XP72. Well, he must be a good-looking guy, and I know who he is. So thank you for that compliment. Appreciate that.
2547, 20239. Approach King at 726, Romeo out of 6,900 to 9,000.
726, Romeo, so get departure, proceed direct to Albus.
Proceed direct to Albus, 726, Romeo.
Clearance number 350 Kilo Tango here at Lake Havasu City, holding short runway 14, number 1, in sequence for departure, ready to go.
November 350 Kilo Tango, Los Angeles Center. Just verify, you did receive an IFR clearance?
Yes, we received our IFR clearance just maybe about 15 minutes ago, and we're told to call when number 1 in sequence for departure.
Roger, thank you. November 350 Kilo Tango, release for departure, clearance void if not off in 5 minutes. If not off in 5 minutes, advise Los Angeles intentions no later than 10 minutes. Change your advisory frequencies approved.
Okay, released for departure. If not off in 5 minutes, we'll advise of our intentions no later than 10 minutes. Frequency change approves, and we'll be over to departure for November 350 Kilo Tango.
Right. So
we squared that up. So now we can essentially come back here, and we have our departure frequency in there actually, and let's get out of here. Lake Havasu City, November 350 Kilo Tango, entering runway 14 for departure out to the west, Lake Havasu City. All right, folks. So all that's done. Last left to do is get this strobe on and stop delaying the inevitable. Our autopilot and yaw damper over here. So again, we're going to get up and try to get ourselves on to a heading of essentially 240 and get out of here. Again, everybody, Leo, Austin Master, Captain Cooper, Chief Sim Pilot, everyone, thank you for joining the stream. Wifey and anybody who I am missing, I apologize. Thanks for joining the stream. I'll get at you guys here in a second. Once we do get airborne, final does look clear. And runway is clear. All right. We are pretty much centered up. Takeoff power is set. Airspeed is alive. $80 knots. Coming up on V1 and rotate. Alright, off the deck, nice and smooth, folks. We do have positive rate. We're going to keep the runway heading. Alright, and we're going to keep a nice slow climb here. And we are done with the runway heading now, folks. We are at 160 knots. We can essentially go flaps up and start making that turn over to 240. And there's kind of right over the lake, which is a good sign for us. And we're going to bounce that speed back just a little bit. And then we'll get ourselves into an IAS climb. Alright, let's go ahead and straighten ourselves out. We are on an intercept course now for our heading. And now we can come over here and get the yaw damper on, autopilot, navigation, and we can most certainly do a flight level change. Alright. Let's pick this speed up slightly. We'll pick it up to about 200. And then we also need to make sure the aircraft follows itself. So right now we should be direct PKE. And let's go ahead and contact center RC 134.65. That's it. Los Angeles Center, November 350 Kilo Tango is airborne 6,000, climbing 14,000.
November 1702 Echo March approach, squawk 1511.
Alright, so we'll continue to keep our landing gear on. Gear is up. Flaps are up.
Number 350 Kilo Tango, Los Angeles Center, radar contact, I maintain 14,000.
Up to 14,000, November 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, guys, so we have ourselves quite the departure here. Let's pick up the
1945
speed a little bit.
Altitude, you 134.32.
We can do a climb right about 230, which I'm happy with.
3432, Alaska 1945.
And let's come down here and just make sure we are on course, which we are. So we did a great job of coming off the airport, making that left turn, intercepting our course right there, and now we are direct Papa Kilo Echo. And again, this flight's going to happen really quick, so we have to make sure that we pay attention once we get on course, because we will most certainly have to listen to the ATIS and go from there. We're almost at that 10,000 feet mark here, so we will most certainly
heading to 050.
Turn off our landing lights. And of course, yes guys, I'm going to get you in the chat. Here is the desert area between Arizona and California.
1702
nice and brown.
Echo radar contact.
No lack of brown there. Okay, we are above 10,000 feet.
I assure you at 4,000.
So we're going to come right up here and turn the landing off. Recognition. We lav and beacon and strobe are all on. And we're continuing our climb to 14,000 feet, which is our cruising altitude for this very short flight. Let's go ahead and increase that, and you can see there's the turn there. And we'll keep the speed here. I'm not really too worried about speeding through this. Once we get everything situated, if we want to pick up a little speed to get time on target, then we will do so. You can see here this will be our longest leg here. This 53 nautical miles. Once we get past here, we'll be direct, and this almost even goes right onto our arrival, which I have programmed in here, which was approved by our wonderful air traffic control.
SoCal approach 135.4.
All right, so we are almost at our cruising altitude.
Kilo Tango, contact Los Angeles Center 126.35.
Los Angeles Center 26.35, November 350 Kilo Tango. All right, so we're going to now go over to 12635 and plug that bad boy in there, and we can verify it on here that it does say the Los Angeles Center, so that's awesome. And we should pretty much be almost at our cruising altitude, which we are, and you can see we're picking up a little speed. There's no auto throttles on here, so I'm going to dial it back slightly on the power. Los Angeles Center, November 350 Kilo Tango, check it in, 14,000.
Number 350 Kilo Tango, Los Angeles Center, hello. The Palm Springs altimeter 2993.
Okay, 2993, November 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, so we got the Palm Springs altimeter already, which is 2993. And you can see still picking up speed here, which is a good thing. Our ground speed right now is 285 knots over the ground. So I'll let this keep climbing slightly, and now we need to go ahead and push that engine sync on here, and we'll leave these in the arm position, and everything else here looks good to go for our short cruise here. And let's go ahead now and start plugging in our ATIS. Hey everybody, let's see, doing good, Dre. Hoping the same for you, my man. I am doing great, Leo. Appreciate you. Again, thanks to everybody for staying here aboard on the stream. And so now we can go ahead and start using our charting information to figure out what's going on with our life. Before we do, we also have to monitor our speed. And we are pretty much balancing out right here. There is no overspeeding at all anywhere in the works, so we're good there. At any rate, back down here, and now we'll have information for the Palm Springs Airport. But the first thing we want to do is go ahead and get those frequencies. So we want to get the ATIS frequency, which is 124.65, and we can plug that in over here, 124.65. 650. We plug that bad boy in like that, and then we just hit this to refresh it. Now we have 124.65, and now we can actually see if we can monitor both of them.
Number 6 Romeo, check localize runway 27 approach.
And so far we're too far away from Palm Springs because it is activated. 124.65, 124.65. We can also make sure the volume is turned up because this aircraft does have volume control. And it is, so we just essentially are too far away, so we'll go ahead and extinguish that for now and just monitor one. But we do have that plugged in, and we can go from there. We'll get a little closer and figure out what runway we are going to expect. In the meantime, we also need to adhere to the actual approach chart, or arrival chart, I should say. Now we are on the S Bono arrival, S Bono 1. Austin Master, so I got X-Pilot working, but voice won't connect. I can still receive private messages. Any suggestion working, but voice won't connect. The only thing I would say, Austin Master, is you have to make sure, because I think you are using, you got X-Pilot, is to make sure that your audio is set up correctly on your computer and that the settings on X-Pilot are reflecting your audio output and your microphone input. I mean, again, I'm not sure if you have done that yet, but that's what you need to focus on, Austin Master. Otherwise, the V-Pilot is going to be connected, but it doesn't know where you're getting where the output of the audio is going, or it doesn't know where your microphone is. And you also need to bind a key for your push to talk. I don't know if that's helping out, but let me know if you've done all that so that we can continue that troubleshooting process. Here is the S Bono 1 arrival. And now here's the funny thing, we're so close, we are too close to even get any of the actual transition points. So we are transitioning directly here, which is you babe. And it looks like here at you babe, we can at least be at 11,000, because I know coming into the Palm Springs area there's some high mountains. So we'll probably get the send instructions pretty close to here, since it's only a disparity of about 3,000 feet. And then from you babe, we come in this way and head to Es Bono, and then from there we're going to get vectors for whichever runway it is, so we'll see if it's visual or not.
We're 623 Golf, 2 miles from Havre,
figure out which runway we're landing on. So hopefully it won't be too busy once we get there, because as you can see in the flight plan, we are on our longest leg right now, which is nothing, aircraft traveling at this speed. So yeah, and that's another good note. We only want to travel about right here, because we're not too far from being where we need to be at 10,000 and at 250. So I like these speeds. Everything's going to happen really quick here, so we don't even have any time for any música this time.
378 Lima, turn left
Let's
heading
see,
220.
what else am I missing here? Nothing. Everybody is doing good. You guys want to see a flyby? Let's see what we look like cooking in the sky.
378 Lima on your rollout. The Santa Monica Airport will be 12 o'clock in 9 miles. Report on site.
All right, and it is definitely cooking for Sheezy. All right, back here in the passenger cabin. We are on the seat, obviously, that's rear facing, so that we can see some semblance of the wing when we do our views. And you can come over to this side as well. You can see that nice little engine in the back working hard. And here's the other wing view on the left side of the aircraft. Again, sitting in the reverse. Passengers back here look like they would be nice and comfortable.
204 Lima Echo, roger. Radar services are terminated. Squawk VFR, change advisory frequencies approved.
So, if anything, on this landing, I did put some fuel stores in here so that we can cover both airports. So hopefully, you can see our quantities here. We're right here at about 1,400 pounds of fuel in here, and we'll see if that'll be sufficient for our next route. If not, we'll throw some more fuel in there. So if we do this, have a little bit, I put a little more extra fuel in there, and this is a private jet, so if we do touch down a little harder, because I have it a little heavier because of the fuel, because I really didn't want to have to fuel up for the next route, but we'll see if we need to anyway, and we'll make that happen. So there we go. Alright, haven't heard from Austin Master, so hopefully maybe that's gave him some information that he can use.
378 Lima, cleared visual approach, runway 21.
Alright, cruising right along, and as you can see, we're almost going to be about halfway done with the route if you take a look at our information. Again, we are flying today in this Beechcraft Premier 390 or 390 Premier 1A, and our arrival time is essentially 12-13 minutes from now, so we're cooking with Crisco here.
378 Lima, connect Santa Monica Tower 20.1.
Guys, a nice little view there, and we'll just monitor the aircraft essentially until we get on over to our first point where we need to descend. You can also tell here, can't really see it, but this is also giving us our next point here, and then on into our arrival. We can also actually be diligent of us to double check what our landing speeds are right now. So you can come right back over here into the refs, click that, and then our V approach at this point is 120 and VREF is 120 or 110, as you can see here. So right now 120 and then a landing speed of 110, and that's of course referencing full flaps. So we will most certainly, no matter what we get, plan on that. This aircraft is pretty fun to fly on visual approaches, even though it can also do other approaches. Other than that, let's check the chat. It is all good, all good. So it is kind of quiet here, so maybe we will throw in some tunes for maybe a hot second. All right. There we go. Some slight tunes in there. Nothing too dramatic. Alright, we are cruising along, just sitting back, listening and working, says Chief Sim Pilot. Well, I appreciate you, brother, for sitting back and listening, and I'm so glad you're able to do that while you're working. Hopefully we take your mind off.
306 Factor Roger, contact in with that, radar service terminated, squawk 3FR.
Alright. Got a little bit of a wind at 50 knots. It's pretty much out of the west as well. Alright. Let's see if we can get that ATIS in there. And if we get it, we may have to turn the music off. Alright, it is there. It's coming in very fuzzy. So we'll get a little closer and then we'll shut the music down and see if we can get ATIS. And actually, we should do that now, folks. Alright, sorry the music was so short-lived, but it is what it is. Let's see if we can get that ATIS.
C1 right. Visual approaches in use. VFR departures, contact, clearance, delivery, advice on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Reset all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Yankee.
Yankees current.
Palm Springs International Airport. ATIS information Yankee. 0153 Zulu. Wind 100 at 4. Visibility 10. Sky condition, clear. Temperature 16. Dew point 2. Altimeter 29903. Arriving and departing runways 31 left, 31 right. Visual approaches in use. VFR departures, contact, clearance, delivery, advice on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Reset all runway assignments.
Alright guys, we did get the ATIS. It is information Yankee. And it definitely looks like runway probably 31 left. Let's see what we get here. If we go to our charts and close this back up. And Chief Sim Pilot says, yo, reach away, LOL, nice. Perfect. Hopefully that means that he's so far, but he can still listen in to what's going on while he's working, grinding. Alright, airport information. Here is the runway here. And if we can look, there's the terminal. So here's 3-1 left. So this is definitely, guys, going to be a 3-1 left day on the visual. So now that we have that information on board, what we want to do is also come over here and essentially come here and load that arrival in. So we're going to load the approach in now. 3-1 left. Visual 3-1 left, visual 3-1 left. So the only
29239 Los Angeles Center 134.65.
Let's see. So everything's visual. So we'll just stick on the visual and get some some cues here. So we'll load the approach.
29239
but we won't activate it. So now it's below and we won't activate it. We can use it for reference if we want to, but that's about it since we're visual right now. For runway 31 left, so we'll have to be on game on that. And again, here shortly we should start descending. We should get some descent instructions here shortly on the S-Bone 01.
62 tree golf. So
what we're going to do right now, folks, we're going to dial the speed back a little bit. So I'm pulling the power back slightly. And let me fix my controls here because the mouse started sliding down like it does. There we go.
Los Angeles Center,
so as you can see here now, we're bleeding speed.
With you, 15,000.
Here is the basically the area that Palm Springs in this little bowl here. So we're still bleeding some speed.
Number 62, Tracer Golf, SoCal approach, fly heading 180, vector RNAV, Zulu, runway 30 approach. Tracer Golf, you cleared to Long Beach Airport via radar vector RNAV, runway 30 approach.
Alright, so we'll need to get off Golf.
726
I think I remember exactly where the parking area is at. Let me share this with you guys really quick. So we're going to get off. Here's runway 31 left. Hopefully we get off by Golf or Juliet. Come back and we're going to be in this little area here. There's some little tight parking areas here because we are flying a private jet. So we're not going to the main terminal. That way we can get our turnaround. All right. I'm basically going to bring the aircraft probably down to the 230 mark. Even though we are above 10,000 feet, you also have to remember the elevation is only 398. So essentially we are 13,000, we'll minus that 4, so 13,500 feet above the ground. But you can see we have these mountains here. So that is cause for concern. Then if you want to orientate yourself using the map, we can do so. We'll just go out and see where we're at.
Los Angeles Center, 29239, I need to pause here.
We're 29239, that's
Okay, so there's Palm Springs right ahead of us. There's the runways here. So let's see if we get some type of descent instructions. Let's look at the charting information here, because we do need to figure out what exactly is happening with our life here on the S-Bono 1. Alright, so we need to read the narrative. So Blythe, Needles transition, doesn't matter. S-Bono, DME, Vince. So we're going to keep runway, we're going to keep the heading that we're on once we... well, we have one more turn to make here, of course. We're going to go direct S-Bono. Let's just make sure we're slowing ourselves down, because sometimes we are the forgotten breed here. But essentially, let's go over here now and take a look and see if we can at least find the airport. Alright, let's come back over here, get our reference point. So from S-Bono, it should be pretty much right at our 12 o'clock. So now, let's go ahead and square up this heading.
1503.
I tell you, this thing is a pain in the butt. Now we
Richard, your golf next turn, left heading 120.
Okay.
726 Romeo, Romeo, turn left heading 300, intercept
This
runway
plane is
27,
bumping around,
mark
so it's giving me a hard time. So alright, so now essentially we're going to probably have to remind them. Again, now we're passing our waypoint, and they are necessarily not saying anything. So we can go ahead and act, and well, there we are. The approach is activated. So now we can come and get a good representation of where we are in reference to. So we're perpendicular. We actually need to come over here, make a left, and come in.
1702, Echo, radar service terminated, contact Almonte Tower to 1.2.
Alright, so we're getting ready to make some changes here. So again, that airport, there is the runway right there. So Los Angeles Center, November 350, Kilo Tango is approaching Palm Springs and looking for vectors and descent to arrive at the field.
Number 350, Kilo Tango, contact SoCal approach will be 6.7.
SoCal approach 126.7, November 350, Kilo Tango.
November 6 Romeo,
All right,
Romeo,
so we were definitely forgotten.
250
Once again, been noticing that trend, but that's okay. It's our job to say, hey, I try to give them patience. And anyway, SoCal approach November 350, Kilo Tango, 14,000 direct to Palm Springs at this point.
Number 350, Kilo Tango, SoCal approach, sorry. Palm Springs, altimeter 29903, expect visual approach, runway 31 right, turn left heading 200.
Okay, expecting visual approach 31 right and left 200, November 350, Kilo Tango. So where he's giving us the right runway, which is interesting.
SoCal approach 204 tonight. I just want to make sure you pick this up.
Alright.
Lima Echo.
So we didn't even get any descent instructions yet.
Proceed to Burbank. Information Zulu, Skyhawk 204, Lima Echo.
350 Kilo Tango, descend and maintain 6,000.
Down to 6,000 over 350 Kilo Tango.
Number 6 Romeo,
Alright, so down to 6,000.
3 miles from Vita, maintain
Definitely getting
5,000.
some choppy wind here, as you guys can see.
State 5,000 to clear to localize to local vector 27 approach, 6 Romeo.
Alright, now we're starting our descent. Of course, this thing gets super funny.
Departure citation 210 Whiskey, leveling 5,000.
And we'll continue our descent down to 6,000.
Whiskey, Santa Barbara departure, better contact, climb and maintain 8,000.
8,000, 02.
Alright. Again, keeping our
UPS
speed low.
1224, descend via
Try to
Iron.
keep it right at 210. Now, if you can see visually representation of where we're at, here's our plane. We're heading south. He's going to swing us back probably this way, and if we have enough time to descent and go right in here and make a right turn. So he just actually, and he'll probably need to vector us here because you can see we're over the strain. So he's probably going to give us some turns in a circular fashion to probably line us up. Now,
6 Romeo, connect with Tower 108.3.
now he said 3-1 right. Yeah, we can stop on that runway because it's 4,000.
Number 0 Kilo Tango 10, left heading 120.
Left 120, November 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, just as I said, over to 120 now. Air is smoothing out, thank goodness. It makes it hard to hit these knobs. And we're bleeding speed, so now we're going over to heading a 120. And runway heading is 310, so 120 to 310, so we're pretty much almost going to be facing the opposite direction of where we need to be. Alright, keeping that speed low again as much as possible, and we are all over to heading a 120. Here in a second we'll get the engine sync off and prepare for arrival. And the altimeter is looking good. And once again,
0 Kilo Tango, descend and 4,000.
down to 4,000 over 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, so down to 4,000 of course. We'll continue that going. We'll continue. We're not going to do anything crazy just because they descended us late. We're going to keep our standard descent profile of 1,800 feet per minute.
18.7 for
And
Yeah.
we are inbound, well outbound, just to go back inbound on over. And he did say 3-1 right, which is interesting, and he's probably assuming we're VFR traffic.
SoCal 632 Golf, I'm good for the turn when you are.
So perhaps if he lands us on there, we'll use the south hangars, south of the field.
320, 632 Golf.
We'll make that determination. Alright, and you can see the nice lake here in the Palm Springs area. You can see it over here represented well as there. Represented well as here as well. Well, I can't talk. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. Alright, guys. Thanks for staying on board. So far, we are, you know, having to stay on top of ATC so that we get into our destinations appropriately. So now, if we don't have a good landing, there's nobody else to blame except ourselves. And I'll keep my little notepad here for now, just in case I get some instructions that I want to write down. Alright, folks. You can see our speed is pretty much staying where it needs to be. We are below 10,000 feet. And again, if we want to get a representation of what we're doing here, we are facing basically on a southern heading.
Tree Golf, 3 miles from Dirty, Flight President,
we need to line up here to line up for runway 3-1 left. And if he says 3-1 right again,
that was broken.
which he may,
again, please.
then we'll sidestep to 3-1 right.
First course cleared.
So to stay ahead of the aircraft, of course, let's go here to charts,
established cleared
that, and come over here to airport information, and now we need to get
Kilo Tango, turn right heading 270.
right 270, November 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, so now we're going to go right 270. Now basically he's sort of giving us a base turn.
Approach citation 210 Whiskey, 8,000 information Oscar.
Number 2102 Whiskey Center for approach. Expect ILS runway 7 approach.
There's our 210 in there. Let's monitor our turn here. You can see we're starting to get some red and yellow radar returns here from the ground.
Number 2102 Whiskey descend maintain 5,000.
Maintain 5,000, 02 Whiskey.
And 02 Whiskey, you can expect the approach from Gaviota.
Understand, thanks, 02 Whiskey.
Number 350 Kilo Tango, center heading 300.
Continue right turn 300, number 350 Kilo Tango. All right, folks. All right.
2102 Whiskey, cross Gaviota at or above 5,000, clear ILS from my 7 approach.
Cross Gaviota at or above 5,000, clear the ILS 7 approach, 02 Whiskey.
All right, so what we needed to do as well, now that those turns are complete, let's bring the power back slightly. We need to make sure we have the Palm Springs Tower right there. That'll be the
623 Golf Gun Long Beach Tower, 119.4. 1946 Golf, thanks.
All right, so we made our turn.
350 Kilo Tango, Palm Springs Airport, 12 o'clock, 18 miles, report on site.
November 350 Kilo Tango has the field in sight.
350 Kilo Tango, cleared visual approach from Mr. 1.
Okay, visual approach runway 31 left, November 350 Kilo Tango. All right.
UPS 1224.
So it was 3-1 left anyway.
5.
So no big deal there. So now we're clear at visual approach, and let's turn our engine sync off. Of course, landing lights are on, and let's double check our VREF. Our V approach is 120, and we also have
vertical track.
The frequency for the tower programmed in. Oops. So we are good to go at this point, guys. So we'll go ahead and disconnect the autopilot.
UPS 1224 LA Center. Hello, the
All right, autopilot is disconnected. Landing lights are all on. All right, I'm going to have us go down basically until about 2,000 feet or so.
Number 350 Kilo Tango, connect Palm Springs Tower, 119.7.
Over to Palm Springs Tower, 119.7. We'll see you north 350 Kilo Tango.
See ya.
All right, so there it is.
Sandberg Tower, 726 Romeo. Slow down short off runway 7 on Bravo. 726 Romeo, are you taxiing on the north side or are you going to commuter terminal? Commuter terminal, 726 Romeo. 726 Romeo, taxi to parking via Bravo, monitor ground 123.9. Bravo, monitor ground, 726 Romeo.
Palm Springs Tower, November 350 Kilo Tango, visual 31 left.
Number 350 Kilo Tango, Palm Springs Tower, runway 31 left, clear to land.
31 left, clear to land, November 350 Kilo Tango. All right. Let's bring that speed back now. There is the rusty dusty field off there. If you look just about at our 1 o'clock position. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and bleed a little bit more speed. As we make this nice descent, I have trimmed the aircraft down. Alright, first stage flaps coming down, folks. Alright, and we are bleeding that speed that I want. Now let's also observe the gear handle. Landing gear is on its way down. Don't forget our approach speed is about 120 with a VREF of 110. Alright, speed is bleeding still. Landing gear is down 3 green. And let's go ahead and select that last stage of flaps that we want. Alright folks, and we are on final approach into the Palm Springs area for runway 31 left. Nice visual approach today. V approach speed is down to the 120, so that's what we're going to want to keep. All right. Nice scenic approach in this little bowl of mountains, of course.
John Williams, Sky High to 108, Hotel Foxtrot, IFR, Santa Monica, we'll go.
Alright, keep in mind this aircraft does not have reverse thrusters.
Foxtrot, John clearance, clear to the Santa Monica Airport, via on departure, flight heading 220.
So I'm just letting the altitude and the speed bleed.
Maintain
2,000. You guys see that little wind gust right there?
10 minutes after departure, departure frequency 128.1, squawk 5361. Clear Santa Monica, on departure heading 220, head back to Zero Beach and then as file, maintain 2000, expect 4000 minutes, departure 128.1, squawk 5361, 108 of the Foxtrot. 108 of the Foxtrot, is that correct?
Santa Maria Tower, Skyhawk 29330, holding short 12, departing to the east. Do you have my Cat 5 there? I had to redo my flight plan.
293 Kilo, thank you. I have the Cat 5 now, runway 12 cleared for takeoff.
Roger, 12 cleared for takeoff, 293 Kilo.
Lima Tower, Skyhawk 4903, Romeo Mike.
Alright, landing gears down, 3 green. Flaps are to where we want it.
4903, Romeo Mike, Yuma Tower.
Yuma Tower, Skyhawk 4903, Romeo Mike.
Alright, back on that
14
speed.
miles east at 2000, inbound for landing, full stop with X-ray.
Number 4903, Romeo Mike, say your position.
A little bit of a wind gust there.
About 3 miles west of Yuma at 2000. Inbound for landing with full stop with X-ray.
Number 4903, Romeo Mike, thank you, makes a little more sense. Enter a rate downwind for runway 26, report midfield.
Report midfield for a right downwind for 26. 4903 Romeo Mike, sorry about that, thanks.
No problem.
Jean-Luc, I'm going to ask the 740 Delta Foxtrot. Jean-Luc, I just wanted to verify our route because I got a question on the Downey to 186. So that's clear to Burbank, heading 220, radar vectors to Seal Beach. Seal Beach radar, Seal Beach radio 341 to Downey, to Victor 186 to Van Nuys.
Alright, now we got that butter.
After Seal Beach 341 radio, it's Elmu. Echo Lima Mike Oscar Oscar, then Victor 186 to Van Nuys.
Alright, speed is bleeding.
Okay, back to 41 to
Yeah, we'll go ahead and put those wheel brakes on.
To Van Nuys, for Delta Fox.
Probably have to make the next one there. Come all the way down here. She came in kind of smoking, which is okay. Alright.
2102 Whiskey, Santa Barbara Tower, runway 7, clear to land.
Retract those air spoilers. So that was a pretty decent approach. A lot of concentration in there. We'll go ahead and watch that replay here in a little while. So we are getting off on Kilo.
Radio check.
And we're going to want to go to, looks like, the northwest hangars. Right off of Gulf. That's where we'll report. Welcome into Palm Springs, everybody, on our first leg.
5x5, if you need to do a radio check, I'd advise you tune COM2 on NCOM 1 to 12345.
Okay, so let's go ahead and, well, we'll get that off and we'll leave this on and we'll turn our strobe off. And, of course, let's get those flaps all the way up. Palm Springs Tower, November 350 Kilo Tango is clear of runway 31 left on Kilo, looking to taxi to the hangars over there off of Gulf.
Number 350 Kilo Tango, taxi to parking via Whiskey Golf, remain this frequency so long.
Okay, to the rep Whiskey Golf, this frequency so long, November 350 Kilo Tango. Alright folks, we are in and we got a nice butter landing. So, with that being said, we can rock out while we head on over to our wonderful area of parking. And let me wipe my nose. I was a little sweaty on the nose on that arrival because I wanted to give you guys some butter. Parking brake is released. And we'll taxi right on in.
Delivery November 4830 Golf. Request 5 to Kilo Lima.
Just look right, make sure we're not going to get any traffic there. Now this parking over here is a wee bit tricky for a jet like this, so we're going to have to really park it the best of our ability.
Los Angeles clearance, say request again, please.
These passengers, the 1%ers using this aircraft to charter us are very particular about where they want us to disembark them to.
Bravo.
Chief Sim Pilot, I appreciate you for saying nice. Just trying to keep up. Just trying to keep up.
Nice now, 172, processing 2,000 feet. November 4830.
Alright. And keep her moving here.
November 4830 Golf, you're cleared out of Los Angeles, Class Bravo airspace.
Aircraft is all cleaned up. And of course, we are going to be doing a replay. And then, so we'll have to get off of PilotEdge.
Exit Bravo airspace, maintain VFR at
Matter of fact, we can just turn them down now.
Departure frequency 134.9er, squawk 4146.
There we go. Turn them down so you guys can't hear them. Again, welcome in everybody to Palm Springs. We are taxiing over to the place where we need to let these passengers off. All right, there's the Jet Center over there. Here is Golf. Hope you guys enjoyed the first leg. I sure did. It's always a challenge. Sometimes ATC doesn't realize that you're floating out there, and they've ignored you, not on purpose. You can see here, here's another little van right there waiting for these passengers over there next to that larger, it almost looks like a Hawker 4000 or Default. Alright, we need to come here and whip around so we can get our pasajeros off. Alright. They have the little shuttle van here for our passengers. Alright, so that van was here waiting, ready to get these 1%ers where they need to go, and we'll load some more on, and then we're off to Santa Barbara, folks. Alright, here we are, all lined up. Okay, parking brake is set. Let's go ahead, and again, this aircraft, for whatever reason, doesn't let you go to standby. There must be a glitch. It just goes right back to reporting altitude, so there's nothing we can do there, but we did it, simulated, folks. Let's go ahead and turn our generators off, of course, and turn our recognition off, and we'll leave the beacon on just until we get, actually we can turn that beacon off now. Let's go ahead and turn that beacon off now, and let's go ahead, now we have to come down here and, alright. Aircraft is essentially shut off. Let's come back here and we'll just turn these off for now. Let's check our fuel stores. About 1,000 pounds in there, so we may have to add some more fuel there, but we will see. And now let's put our well, we'll do a replay, then we'll put our ground power on. Alright, before we open the door, so let's disconnect from PilotEdge and let's get right into
disconnected.
Looking at our replay, my people, my wonderful people. You know how I like to do it. We did disconnect this time, so they won't get mad at us. And let's toggle this replay and check our landing out just to see what type of damage we did here on the runway here at Palm Springs. All right, here we go, here we go. And as you can see, we were on the way in. Hey, Flight Simulator 4723, how are you doing? You guys can see here, we had a nice little profile here. Flowing right along. Thanks for joining us, Flight Simulator 4723. Hope you are well along with everybody else. And you can see we were just reeling it in. Go ahead and get this tower view. We always have to do something special in order for us to land appropriately when we should, whether that's getting ourselves figured out or reminding ATC. All right. Oh, we're gonna have to run that back. Okay, there's where we touched down. Just very ever so softly we kept that nose up. We'll still run that back though. I felt like we weren't able to see exactly where those wheels are touching. All right. Just a little bit left of center, which is totally awesome. All right, you guys know I'm gonna do a few different replays here. All right, let's see how we kiss the deck. Nice. Nice little soft bounce. All right, let's look at the window view, which you guys know I love. All right, even though we're riding backwards, we'll see what that looked like coming in, and we'll be getting our next flight up and ready to go. And once we get done with this replay, we will start getting it into where we can put our flight plan in and get out of here. The thing that helped us actually get that butter landing was the fact that we actually probably came in just slightly over our VREF, right around V approach. All right, folks, without further ado, let us get back and do what we need to do. All right. Go ahead, stop that replay and get out of that replay and get back to where we need to be, of course. All right, coming back in, folks, for you with another one. And as you can see now, the flight information up top here has been most certainly updated. You can see we're going to Palm Springs to Santa Barbara on this next route. And let's jump on board and just make sure, let's get that strobe off. Let's see, all these should be off. And we have our nav on. Let's just make sure. I thought I saw something flashing there for a second. Okay, which we don't. Alright, so now without further ado, we can get right on board and file our new tech route. Now, this is a tech route, meaning we talked about this on our last flight. We're here in Southern California. If you pick airports that are most certainly in the Southern California airspace, you can use a tech route, and that's what we're going to do today. And let me get this tech route information. So PSP is our first point there, which that's basically where we're at, 4.7 nautical miles away from here. Then from Palm Springs, we are going to be going over to Victor 388. So we'll load this airway here. So Victor 388. Where are you? There it is. And we're exiting Victor 388 at D-Way. And then D-Way, we're going right over to the Pomona VOR. And there you go. We don't want Pomte. We want Papa Oscar Mike. Let's enter that. And then here's Pomona right here, which is 65 nautical miles away. And then from Pomona, we're going to Van Nuys, which is Victor November Yankee. And then from Van Nuys, we're back onto an airway, which is Victor 186, and we're exiting Victor 186 at Diano. And then from Diano, we're on to another airway of Victor 27. And there is Victor 27. And then finally, we're exiting this at Quang, folks. All right, Quang, where are you? One more perhaps, and there is Quang. We're going to load that, and then of course now we're going to load Santa Barbara. And there you have it, folks. Our plan is all situated. Let's go ahead and come look at our preview here. So as you can see here, we're going to take off. Probably have to do a loopy-loop around back to the Palm Springs VFR because we're going to be taking off runway 31 again, and we'll have to circle back around, or we'll go direct Palm and go from there. They'll probably give us some runway heading, and one thing I always pay attention to when I'm flying these routes is if there is a departure in here. So if we loaded a procedure and there's a departure, let me see what they have. So they have the cath of the thermal. So we'll see if we switch this to that. I just wanted to make sure and see what they were. Now, of course, let's come over here to our charts page so that we can use our frequency situation. We already have the ATIS programmed in over here, so we don't need that, but we do need to go back over here to clearance, switch that over here to KSB clearance, and then of course we'll want ground, which is 1219er. But before we can do that, we need to most certainly put in our let's connect back to PilotEdge.
Connected to PilotEdge.
All right, now we're connected back there. We need to go ahead and do our flight plan. So now we are going from Palm Springs on over to Santa Barbara with our 1%ers in our aircraft. All right, here is our tech route. And the name of this tech route is the PSP Papa 17. So PSP Papa 17 is the name of the tech route, and the flying time is 48 minutes roughly. And fuel needed is a little bit more than we have, so let's go throw some more fuel in here. Alright, Premier 1, Slant Lima, PSB, SBA. Here's the tech route. We need to file for 12,000 because that's what the tech route says. We'll keep our speed here, 48 minutes. Let's file that. Let's also come here and get some more fuel on the craft. So you can see here we burnt this full. We're pretty much at where we need to be. We didn't burn a whole lot of fuel last time, but we did burn enough. So let's go ahead and put that there. You can see between our passengers and our weight in the back, we got an additional 2,309 pounds of stuff we're carrying. We're right here at this fuel, so I like that. Let's apply those changes, and now let's most certainly come over here and make sure that that's all good to go. Let's make sure our external power is doing what it needs to do, and there's our fuel, folks. So with that being said, let's go ahead and I'm going to get the ATIS here.
Airport, ATIS Information Alpha, 0253 Zulu, wind 060 at 4, visibility 10, sky condition, clear, temperature 2.1, altimeter 29904, arriving and departing runways 31 left, 31 right, visual approaches in use, VFR departures contact clearance delivery, advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Alpha.
Alright, Alpha is clearant. Alright, folks. So now we can go ahead and call for our clearance. So you know what time that is. That's music off time. And let's turn them up.
Clear for takeoff, runway 8. What turnout did you want us on, Bonanza 720?
Alright.
Yeah, whichever direction you need for on course. After that, we will take the left turnouts. Bonanza 720, clear for takeoff, runway 8.
Palm Springs clearance, November 350 Kilo Tango, IFR to Santa Barbara.
November 350 Kilo Tango, Palm Springs clearance. You're clear to the Santa Barbara Airport via the Cathedral 1 departure. Palm Springs, that has filed. Maintain 7,000. Expect 12,000, 12 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.7, squawk tree 07 tree.
Cleared to the Santa Barbara as filed on the Cathedral 1 departure, Palm Springs transition. Climb and maintain 7,000. Expect 12,010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 126.7, squawking tree 07 tree for November 350 Kilo Tango.
Number 350 Kilo Tango, read back correct?
Alright, read back is correct.
Going tower, sky 210 departure, hold each other, runway 20 kilo, ready for departure.
Just going to turn them down really quick so we can handle business here. So tree 07 tree is still the squawk. And I told you guys that they were going to more than likely give us a departure. So we checked what we had on board. So we are always ahead of the game. Departure here, and it is the Cathedral 1 with runway 31 left in mind and Palm Springs transition. Let's load that departure, and now there's nothing else different. So essentially we're going to climb heading 310 to Palm Springs, and then back over to Palm Springs. Oh, that's the Palm Springs radio. Okay, that's radio 268 to Palm Springs, and then we intercept Palm Springs and then on. So now let's actually, we can come back here to the flight plan now and see what that departure even looks like from a graphical representation. Okay, so here we go. So we're essentially going to take off from Palm Springs, intercept this radio here, turn back to Palm Springs. Then we come back to Imrud. Then we come back out. And the reason why that is so you can get altitude and get out of here. So that's the route that we're doing. So essentially, again, we're going to take off direct to Palm Springs to intercept this radio. Then we're going to take a right to cross Palm Springs over to Imrud and then back around. And so that is what we're supposed to do. Now, before we commit fully to that, we also want to check that on our diagram here of departure. So here's the Cathedral 1 departure, which that's what we wanted. And let's just make sure that we're going to read it. So take off runway 31 left, climb heading 310 to cross PSB Vortac, then right turn direct PSB, thence climb via PSB radio 104 to Imrud, DME, then right turn. So so that's what we'll do. We're going to do our climbing turn to heading 310, which of course again is going to get us on that radial that is headed right back to Palm Springs, and that radial is 268. So if you want to find the 268, this is the radio here. So we're going to take off, come hit this, take off 31 left, and come at a heading of 310, hit that radial 268, then we turn right heading here to Palm Springs. So that 268 radio, we already know that's actually that's the 268 inbound. If we were to stick to the 268 outbound, that would essentially be we would stay on the 268. So essentially with this, you do have to subtract 180 degrees from that. So essentially, if you were to come do that on the display, you would just take, 268 minus 180, which obviously that would bring you back to 0, and then there's a disparity of 12. So then if it brings you back to 0, so that heading is going to be a heading of basically it's a northern heading coming out, and it looks like it may be this radial 88 here. But that looks slightly off, but that's okay because we're going to Emrud anyway, so we need to get in a heading of 104 coming out of Palm Springs. You can see here directly to Emrud is a heading of 104 to go direct here. So we'll hopefully just get the aircraft on nav and go from there at any rate. So now here we're at the hangar area just off of Gulf, and we'll probably just do, let's see, Golf Whiskey all the way down to the base of runway 31. So now we can go ahead and switch this over, and there's the ground, and now let's go ahead and put the tower in there again, and man, we'll get out of here, I promise you. And the tower frequency again is 119.7, and then we'll put our departure frequency of 1267 in here in just a second. Actually, we can put it over here. You guys know how I like to roll. So 126.700, and we'll just put that here. Actually, we'll just put it up in here. We've already got the ATIS, so there's no need. So then now 1267, we have that in there. For whatever reason, and you can see the ATIS went right to the second one, so we could essentially just recall them if we wanted to and go from there. So again, information alpha's current 29904, and it is time to roll up out of here. So let's get those doors closed, rear baggage doors closing and the main doors closing. Let's just make sure that that's what we have. Yep, door is closed. And closed and closed. Cabin is secure. Let's go ahead and turn this off now, and let's do what we do. So up here, beacon is coming on, nav is already on, and let's see, we've got our boost pumps on. Boom, boom, boom. Everything here is looking good. We are doing that ground power start, so there's no worries there. And then of course we're going to make sure we come back here, and our trims are still in the normal range, but we'll make sure the trims go back where we want. We need to turn our ECU on, and we need to turn these ignitions all the way up back over here. Remember, we have to click this off. So let's see. Okay, we got 21. Okay, it's not coming up, so let's click it. There we go. Alright, and that's coming up, so let's go ahead, start our left engine as well. Since this is a ground power start, we're not relying on any APU. Alright. There we are. And the left is still coming up, of course. We'll wait for everything to stabilize. And you can see we have that extinguished there. Alright, so we can come back down here now and put our generators on. Let's make sure they all have 28, and they do. So now we can extinguish the ground power.
Biggest field approach
Ground power is extinguished. Boost pumps are on.
7,400.
Everything here is looking good. Engine sync is off. Okay, now let's come down here and make sure we put that trim down right in the middle. And everything else should be good to go, folks. So let's go ahead and we put our flaps down to take off.
Cat approach 135.4.
Now let's go over here to our references again and look at what our V speed is. Alright, so our V speed is for takeoff with this weight. Our climb out is 135 and our rotates at 123, so we are a few more pounds heavier. Let's go ahead and turn our, we kept our heaters on anyway, which is good. And we'll check that annunciator panel. And we're good to go. Yeah, we're good to go. Our oxygen is still pulled out because this isn't the first flight of the day. So let's make sure we're on ground and do what we do. Palm Springs ground, November 350 Kilo Tango, information Alpha over here at the hangars, right off of Golf, is ready to taxi.
For 0 Kilo Tango, you're transmitting on the SoCal frequency. You're meant to be transmitting on ground frequency, I think.
Okay, I'll switch over to the ground frequency, November 350 Kilo Tango. And I bet you I know what happened, guys. This thing has a glitch. We didn't switch it over. It switched over by itself. There we go. It did it last time when we caught it. This time we didn't. Palm Springs ground, November 350 Kilo Tango, information Alpha at the hangars just off of Golf is ready to taxi.
Taxi via Golf Whiskey Alpha.
31 left, Golf Whiskey Alpha, number 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, so we're doing Golf Whiskey Alpha. And we have those volumes all turned up. And let's make sure we get 7,000 programmed in there, because that's our initial climb to 7,000. And yeah, we'll try to get up and fly our heading of 310. And then hit the nav and see what the aircraft does. Hopefully we don't get anything too wicked. Alright, flight director is on there. And then of course we're going to do a flight level change on our climb for wherever we end up being. And let's really quick, lastly but leastly, look at our taxi here. There is the map. And so Golf. So we'll come up here, get on Golf, Golf, right, Whiskey. And then Whiskey Alpha is the last one. So then Whiskey, then Alpha. So we're going, once we get on Golf, we don't need to worry about any other turns. We go straight down until we can't anymore. So there you go. Alright, folks, without further ado, let's make sure our landing light, our recognition light is on, nav is on, beacon is on, and flaps are set for takeoff. And everything is good to go. Let's go flying again. Alright. Parking brake is released. Alright, and this first taxiway again is Golf. There we are, rolling right along.
Tower number 4830 Golf. We have information. Lima. 10 mile northwest inbound landing for stop.
Alright, let's check in. Everybody's doing good. Everybody, thanks for staying on board.
4830 Golf, Long Beach Tower.
We are
Roger. Looks like
going back for our next
tower.
Departure.
Make straight in for
and we're only going to be at 12,000 feet, so we'll essentially be on here, probably able to listen to some jams. And hopefully we have another butter landing in Santa Barbara, getting these 1%ers where they need to go.
Just try not to leave the frequency you were with previously. Los Angeles, you could get in a lot of trouble with Los Angeles Tower because they still have a radar track on you.
Okay, affirmative. 4830 Golf.
Alright, and let's decrease our range here so I can essentially see what's going on. Alright, I think we're close enough to the end of the runway. We can go ahead and switch this over. Alright. Here is the base of runway 31 left. Palm Springs Tower, November 350 Kilo Tango on Alpha, holding short runway 31 left, ready for departure.
Number 350 Kilo Tango, Palm Springs Tower, runway 31 left, clear for takeoff, 10704.
31 left, clear for takeoff, number 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our strobe and landing on and keep her going. And let's see. Get our in-flight timer and swing her on over just the way I like to. Use all that runway. Final looks clear. Flaps are set, landing lights and strobe is on. Alright, don't forget we're going to fly heading, we need to get on the heading of 310. There we go. Takeoff power is set. $80 knots. Coming up on V1 and rotate. Positive rate. Landing gear is going up. Alright, gear is up. Let's go ahead and do our autopilot pretty quick and do flight level change. Alright, yaw damper and
Number 350 Kilo Tango, contact departure.
over to departure number 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, and let's do our versus speed. Alright, over to departure.
The faster contact, so got 134.2.
And we're going to go make sure those flaps are up. Pull that speed back.
Retreat, Lima, turn left heading 080.
Turn left SIG heading 220.
080.
Let's make sure we're on heading.
Left 080.
And we're getting ready to do our turn, which is good.
Point good evening, Bonanza 9072
make sure the
Sierra,
aircraft is doing it. There we go.
6500.
9072 Sierra, Plymouth approach Camarillo, altimeter 29er, 89er.
89er or 72 Sierra?
SoCal departure number 350 Kilo Tango is 3,300, climbing 7,000.
Route 350 Kilo Tango, SoCal departure, radar contact, climbing to maintain 12,000.
Up to 12,000 over 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, so up to 12,000 we go.
Bakersfield approach Skyhawk 2930, 4 miles to the west, requesting.
Alright, 12,000 is in there.
Information 0.
As you can see, putting some
power. Still with approach towers 118.1.
We are climbing at 2,400 feet per minute, and we are making our turn on our departure, crossing the Palm Springs VOR and then onto MRUD, and then we're going to make another 180 back on course. That's just the way this departure is set up because we're in this mountain bowl.
623 Lima, turn left heading 330 to set and maintain 4,300.
All right. Now that we are in a climb, let's go ahead and get our engine sync on.
Again,
And let's get our ignitions to arm.
330.
And we can turn our recognition light off, but we'll leave our landing light on. Until we get to 3,000. All right. See, after our turn, our aircraft wanted to pass 250 because that's less resistance. So we are back airborne again, making things happen, and on our way to Palm Springs. And thank you, honey, for saying nice takeoff. I appreciate you. Hopefully we have another nice landing. Again, everybody, thanks for staying on board. And once we get a little higher, we'll get some jams going back on and manage our aircraft and get on over to where we need to be. All right, here we go. Coming right out of that Palm Springs area. All right. She is flowing out.
350 Kilo Tango, turn left turn, direct D-way.
Left turn, direct D-way, November 350 Kilo Tango. Okay, now why that's important that he said left turn, direct D-way, because he doesn't want us to necessarily do a right turn. So this is where I'm going to square up the heading and put it in heading mode. And now we are going to basically make a circle.
You're on the right frequency. This is November 29239, descend and maintain 8,000.
So we'll have the aircraft start a left turn.
November 963 Lima, turn left direct Pettis, cross Pettis 100,
And then we're going to come in here.
Turn left direct Pettis, cleared ILS.
And
26 left approach.
We're going to go direct to D-way.
Activate
that so you can see we'll keep making our turn. And essentially now we can go ahead and put it back in the nav mode. And now that we told it to do a left turn, it's going to keep a left turn to D-way. Again, why is that important? That's important because we could have made the aircraft would have made a right turn or left turn depending on how close it was to D-way. And there's a possibility that we may not have adhered to his instruction of making a left turn.
Expect ILS from 30.
284 and 30.
Alright, so we are almost at 12,000.
Number 907 Sierra, connect Santa Barbara, approach 120.55.
And now we are going to go right back probably through this valley here, so to speak. And be out of the Palm Springs area. You can see us picking up speed, which is okay. We are above 10,000 feet, so let's turn that landing light off now.
29er, expect visual approach, runway 21.
And back on course we go. We're getting ready to straight out. As I said, we're going to be coming right through this clearing.
We're at Hotel Foxtrot, disregard the clouds overall. Then you can expect RNAV runway 21.
RNAV runway 21, the west way.
And we are direct D-way and above 250 now. So I think we're doing good, guys. What do you think?
Santa Barbara approach, Bonanza 90.
All right, guys. Nice takeoff. Thanks for staying on board. We have our flight information, which we should be there in essentially 30 minutes. And we are picking up some speed here.
4,000, clear on over runway 21 approach.
Coast Dark at 2,000, clear RNAV 21 approach, west way of the function.
4 Delta Foxtrot, it's going to maintain 4,000.
Maintain 4,000, 4 Delta Fox.
All right. We'll get to about 300 knots and keep it there. Pull the power back just a little bit now so we can start decreasing our rate of acceleration. And even if we stayed right here, that's fine. You can see that barber's pole just about to stick out. But just because you got the power doesn't mean you need to use it. Just because you have the power doesn't mean you need to abuse it. All right, folks, we are doing good. And
4,200.
As we cross dark to 4,
we should
go up to 4,000.
hopefully have an okay arrival. We're right at the 300 mark, which is where I wanted to be. So I'll let the aircraft slowly hover around there.
But if you would like to go to 4,300, you can.
So we'll go 4,300 once you're ready at the box.
Alright, if you'd like to do that, you may. Number 8 Hotel Foxtrot cross, darts at 4,300.
4,300 once you're ready at the box.
So here's the runway that we'll be using, 25 or 11.
20.6.
Contacting tower, King Arthur 10 Lima.
All right.
13 Whiskey, descend and maintain 10,000.
So we have one ILS approach, one RNAV, and one VOR or GPS runway 25.
Mike Whiskey.
Yeah, I don't know what I called you. You're probably going to do 13 Whiskey. Number 5 Mike Whiskey, descend and maintain 10,000.
There we go, 10,000, 5 Mike Whiskey.
ATIS in Santa Barbara is 3265. So let's go ahead and put that in here and refresh it. 13265. We have that in comms too. And yeah, so these are, you know, obviously now we know what approaches that we potentially have in there. So we'll just need to see what the weather's looking like once we get a little closer. I'm not too worried about it because we are on a tech route, so they know that they need to vector us where we need to go, and we're not scared of any visuals here at all. So most certainly not worried about that. And looks like we've got a good scenic view here of the Southern California area leaving this basin here. All right, we are rolling right along. So over here in this area over here, that is basically the Cajon Pass. Big Bear Mountain, which we flew to, I believe, yesterday, is somewhere off over here in the distance. We'll try to get some landmarks pointed out here. Okay, and was going to call this out as a reservoir, but I don't know if it's the right one, but it does look like this would be
right traffic,
a Dominigani Reservoir over here. I'm very familiar with this area of Southern California. Let's go over to the first officer side. See what we can see here just as we're passing these mountains.
The 350 Kilo Tango, contact SoCal approach 135.4.
SoCal approach 25.4, number 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, over to SoCal approach 125.4.
November 5 Mike Whiskey, request to grab ATIS at Bakersfield.
The 5 Mike Whiskey.
Let's see, I think he gave me the wrong frequency. Let's check this out. SoCal approach, number 350 Kilo Tango, 12,000. Yeah, I think we got the wrong frequency there. Let's go back over.
0.1, 1 at the box.
SoCal approach, November 350 Kilo Tango. We had 125.4 for the last frequency, but I don't think that's right.
35.4, 354.
Thanks for the correction, sir. We're jumping over 135.4, number 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, so 35.4. SoCal approach, number 350 Kilo Tango, 12,000.
350 Kilo Tango, SoCal approach the Chino altimeter 29902, descend and maintain 10,000.
29902 on the altimeter down to 10,000 over 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, so 29902, he's given us these information because we are on this tech route, so now we can descend and maintain 10,000. Now that we're out of the mountains.
Fly present heading, vector ILS remains 30 approach.
Fly present heading, right for vector, stop vector speed.
And this descent isn't major. We're not even close to our field yet, so we'll make sure we don't pick up too much speed. And let's go ahead and take a look and see what type of distance we have going on here. We got 31 and 36 miles, so that alone is 66, almost 67 miles, plus the rest of this. 67 plus another 10, 77 plus another 5 would be 82 plus another. So we still got some miles to kick it here, so we're not getting that close. We're just following the rules for this tech route, right on course. All right. And we'll look at the map here in a second. And then once we get to 10,000, we'll go ahead and put our landing lights on. Actually, we'll just go ahead and do that now. All right, let's go ahead and look and see exactly. So here's San Bernardino Airport here, and then we'll be able to see off the first officer side Ontario Airport. We passed these airports yesterday on the way to Big Bear. Again, pretty cool to see this stuff in the sim. All right, here is the Ontario Airport. And then the Cajon Pass is just up through here. So if you were to see, let's see if we can see any of the major highways that go through there. And this probably is them there. But the Cajon Pass is basically gets you out of the SoCal Basin and it gets you back up into the high desert, which you can see over here. And then off that way is Las Vegas, Victorville, Barstow, California. So right now, we are pretty much right over Ontario Mills Airport, which means we're over highways 60 and 10. Basically headed towards LA. And those highways also parallel this mountain system as well. So it's pretty much dead on in that direction. We did a good job maintaining our speed. Now we're bleeding a little bit because we're leveling out right at 10,000. All right, in the chat, everybody is quiet. Everybody is somewhat behaving. We are en route to our final destination of the day, which is Santa Barbara Airport with our 1%ers. Here's to the 1%ers and here's to the rest of us here.
Heading 360.
Heading 360, Port Delta Fox.
Cruising right along. All right. We are just cruising here. We're not even going to be too upset about a moment or two to catch our breath since it's been so busy. Jumping right through these clouds here. Actually, a good thing for me to do at this point, which I forgot to do on our turnaround, is to update the active sky route. So the weather may even
Port Delta Fox, try to set and maintain 3,300.
get another update.
Descend and maintain 3,300 Port Delta Fox.
All right, let's see if that weather updates. I just did something with active sky. If not, we have the right weather here. But as you can see, now it is updating. And this is the current weather here. And we're getting an outside marker of some sort, but we passed it.
So is that 05 or 050?
050.
050, Port Delta Fox.
Port Delta Fox, try 2 miles from Silex, maintain 3,300, go establishment localizer, cleared ILS from later first.
Maintain 3,000 till establish.
They're coming on a little bit.
Localizer, cleared for the ILS approach, Port Delta Fox.
Well, we'll wait before we switch them over. I need to try and get this ATIS. Let's turn it down a little bit before we click on it. All right, still too far away, no problem there. See the water off in the distance, the Pacific Ocean. All right, so other cities that we are passing over: Ontario, Pomona, Corona, West Covina, and Pasadena, Westminster, Monrovia, Los Angeles. Will be probably entering the city limits, of course, as we fly this way. Again, thanks for staying on board with us. You can see the aircraft is continuing to do a great job of following its prescribed course, and going from there. You can see LAX at some point here shortly is going to be right off of our left wing as we continue our journey northwest, and then of course here at Fillmore west on over here to the wonderful Santa Barbara, which of course is right off the coast too. So I'm assuming the winds will also be out of the west as well, but we'll see. So not too far, my peeps.
November 90072 Sierra, connect Santa Barbara approach 124.15.
All right, guys. Too easy. This is too easy.
November at 9072 Sierra, contact Santa Barbara approach 124.1.
24.1, Bonanza 9072 Sierra.
All right.
2415.
2415, Bonanza 9072 Sierra.
So let's go ahead and slow down now that we are at the 10,000, because anything else will be required to slow down. So we don't want to be coming in too hot or getting our lecture, since we know better.
Approach Bonanza 9072 Sierra, 6,500.
90072 Sierra, Santa Barbara approach Santa Maria, altimeter 2979er.
Somebody else is going over there to Santa Barbara. All right, we're almost where we need to be.
Delta Faster, connect Burbank Tower 118.7.
Burbank Tower 118.7. We're up to 5.
All right, make sure you guys have a great view here. We're almost down to our prescribed speed. You see the weather doing a little bit more updating there. Cruising right along. All right, now we can throw in a little bit more power to stabilize right here at 250. All right, there we are right at 250. Again, handling the speeds manually, making sure we're following the rules. All right, let's come down here and see if we're going to get anything on this ATIS.
Runway 7 approach in use. The FR departure, contact clearance, delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight.
Reserve Kilo Tango, connect circuit approach 134.2.
Runway assignments and hold short instructions.
Over to SoCal approach 34.2, November 350, Kilo Tango. All right, so Papa's current.
Number 1452 Echo SoCal, correction, Los Angeles Center, hello.
Information Papa. 030
left heading 020.
070 at 020, visibility 5, rain, mist, few clouds at 2,200, 3,900 scattered, ceiling 4,900 overcast, temperature 10, viewpoint 8, altimeter 29085, arriving runway 7, departing runway 7, 15
So 7
right,
is the runway?
15 left. Left runway 7 approach in use. The FR departures, contact clearance, delivery. Advise on.
All right. SoCal approach, November 350, Kilo Tango is 10,000, and we have the information Papa at Santa Barbara.
Number 350 Kilo Tango, SoCal approach. Turn left heading 260, vectors for D-Way, descend and maintain 8, correction, vectors for Dino, descend and maintain 8,000.
Okay, we'll get on the heading of 260, vectors for Dino, down 8,000 over 350 Kilo Tango. All right, folks, so we have action. All right, and they want us at 260 for vectors for Dino, and then down to 8,000 of course, which we can also make that happen. So we'll go right in here into the vertical speed and start our descent down to 8,000, folks. Now, if you guys noticed on our actual information, the runway 7 is most certainly being used, so let's get ready to, and there's the Dino he's trying to vector us to, so he's probably giving us a shortcut for Dino, which is fine. Let's just monitor our speed. All right, now what we want to do, of course, is come over here and we want to load a procedure and approach and ILS 7 and transition vectors. Yeah, we'll do vectors, it's fine, and we will just load that, but we won't activate it. That way we continue to have some type of visual representation once we get close. And then of course we'll look at the ILS information and plug that into our nav radio. Alright guys, and we are on the way to our last stop for the day, which is Santa Barbara. We've got we're over halfway done with the flight. We should be arriving here the next 15 to 16 minutes.
989er on the ground at Bermuda Dunes. Kilo Uniform Delta Delta, looking for an IFR to Borrego Springs, Lima.
Alright, you guys can see we're shaking around here a little bit.
November 75989er, SoCal approach, clear to Lima 08 airport is filed. Maintain 5,000, departure frequency 126.7, squawk 2401, hold for
a little
release.
bit power here, stay around about 240. And let's go ahead and look and see if we can use those frequencies in the charting to see what. Actually, we'll just use this.
To Lima 08,
so ILS 7.
Frequency 126.7.
We can see here the localizer frequency is 110.30, so that's going to work out for us. 110.30 with approach course heading of 75, and we'll be coming in right over the water, so that'll be okay. Alright.
Left turn 330 to intercept the localizer.
Now he's got us going on a shortcut to Dino, so we might as well also have ourselves going direct to Dino. So you can kind of see he's got us on a direct heading there to Dino, essentially, is what he's doing. So if we take a look at that, we go to Dino, then we do a left and we go direct, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna give us some other vectors by the time we get here. And then here's our approach, so we'll be downwind of our approach, so he'll probably keep us right over the water, give us a right base, right final, and then boom, we're there. Hopefully it's that easy, guys. Hopefully it's that easy, but we'll see what happens. And I like our speed. We wanted to stay right around 230. We're getting another marker here. That's just our nav radio is more than likely picking up another frequency that matches up. And we are doing good. All right.
So, got a departure. Good evening, Power 1, 2000 coming via the SID to 5,000.
So terrain here is not much of an issue.
Departure at a contact. Climb via SID.
Climb via SID, Power.
We got the radar on now for any traffic, so we will most certainly live with that. And there's a slight bit of weather off to the left that's more important than we need it to be, but that's okay. I'm mainly looking at this for any traffic since we're in that busy airspace in Southern California. And like I said, keep the speed here.
880 Echo radio check.
Loud and clear.
Approach Caravan November 5 880 Echo IFR John Wayne.
All right. Moving right along.
Echo, you're on a SoCal frequency. Are you on the ground at an uncontrolled field?
I'm sorry. No, it's controlled. I'll change over to clearance.
Let's also program the to stay ahead of the aircraft, my wonderful folks. Let's also go ahead and program in the tower frequency for the Santa to the Barbara. So tower frequency is
November 5 Mike Whiskey 5 miles from Jupex, Clear Island, 330 approach.
19.7.
Cleared ILS 30 right approach, November Papa Whiskey. Thanks, call sign.
Santa Barbara approach, November 110 Romeo, 27 miles west of the Sellersville.
Alright, there is our mix.
For 3,000 for 9,500 feet. We're requesting a flight following to Bakersfield.
110 Romeo, Santa Barbara approach, squawk 7110.
Squawk 7110. November 110 Romeo.
Right into a cloud we are. So we get a little closer, of course. You know how we'll do it. We'll shut the music down.
Approach, Bonanza 9072 Sierra. We'd like to cancel flight following if you have no targets between us and Oceano.
November 72 Sierra, I do have targets between you and Oceano. I have somebody, let's see, 10 miles northwest of your position. 3,000 indicated, 13 miles northwest of your position, 3,600 indicated. Would you like to stick on radar, or do you want to terminate?
We'll terminate by following Bonanza 9072 Sierra.
72 Sierra, radar service terminated, squawk VFR, frequency change approved.
Squawk and VFR, please change approved, Bonanza 9072 Sierra, talk to you soon.
November 10 Romeo, radar contact 6 miles northeast of Santa Maria.
Alright, we got
Power 1,
Piano and 33 nautical miles.
2527, that one.
The 350 Kilo Tango, connect Point McGoo approach 124.7.
Point McGraw approach 124.7, number 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, so 124.7, Point McGoo approach.
Power 1, Los Angeles Center, climb maintain flight level 230.
Point McGoo approach, number 350 Kilo Tango 8000. We have information pop out the field.
Number 350 Kilo Tango, Point McGoo approach, proceed direct Quang, cross Quang at 4,000.
Okay, proceed direct Quang, cross Quang at 4,000, number 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, folks, so now we are going to come over here, and we're going to go over here to the flight plan, go direct, activate Quang, and then we're going to come right over here and put the nav back on. And now we are direct Quang, and we're crossing Quang at 4,000, so we can go ahead and continue our descent. Alright, so there's 4,000 pulling back on the speed. And we have Quang and 32 nautical miles, so we can actually even slow our descent down if we wanted to. There we go. So we've got that in some time. So let's go up just slightly. So we got about 30 nautical miles.
SoCal delivery, just a 75989er is on the ground.
Alright, you can see some rain out there.
Southeast of the field, and
it's raining ever so lightly.
Current information alpha at Palm Springs International.
Roger. Number 75989, did you have a request?
759er, yeah, just hold it for release. 989er.
Roger. You didn't really indicate that you were ready for departure, which is why I didn't give it to you initially. Number 75989, release for departure. Clearance would if not off in 3 minutes. If not off in 3 minutes, advise search of intentions. No later than 10 minutes. Change your advisory frequency approved.
And we'll keep our speed between 230 and 210 until we're on the downwind.
Okay, so, if not off in 3 minutes, release in 3 minutes. If not off, reach back in 10 minutes. Frequency change. Says the 75989er.
Marin Delta Bravo, Connect Los Angeles, Center 125.27.
2527, 1 Delta Bravo.
Alright, about 6,300. We got about 25 nautical miles, so we'll continue this descent profile. We're right at 210 on the speed.
November 1 Delta Bravo, Los Angeles, Center 11, level 230.
I hope everybody is continuing to enjoy the stream. Again, thanks for riding along here on this most interesting flight from Palm Springs on over. Let's go ahead and get our recognition so that when we put our taxi light down or we put our gear down, everything is good to go. And we're rocking right along, keeping our speed right where we need to. Got that rain coming right at us, if you can see that. All right, I like it. All right, so we are going to be most certainly landing on runway 7, and it doesn't matter. We'll our goal is to go over here to the these would be the north or southeast. This will be north.
So departure,
oh, this is north.
130,
south.
2600.
So this will be the north
so departure,
east
contact might be said.
hangars there. So that's where we're going over here. Just to share that with you wonderful people.
Center 135.5.
135.5, November 110.
All right, let us program in, just to be on the safe side, let us program in the tower frequency so we don't get caught behind the plane.
110 Romeo, passenger
19.7.
9,500.
110 Romeo, LA Center, Santa Maria, altimeter 2981.
And then there's Quang, and then we're supposed to go direct, but he's going to give us some probably downwind type stuff here. So I'm only imagining. And we're almost at our 4,000, and we got 15 nautical miles to go. So that was a nice slow descent, guys. Thanks for doing that slow descent with me. And I'm just going to assume he's probably going to have us come to like a heading of 245 or something like that, which almost is going to be parallel with the runway. And if you ever want to see what is exactly parallel with the runway, you can just come over here to the approach chart and open it up, and we see that the runway heading is 75, so the opposite direction is 255. You see that? So 75 into runway 7 in the opposite direction is 255, so you never have to wonder what is the actual reverse. You don't have to do, you're not required to do too much math. So you know, if we get on to our last point, I'm gonna assuming he might give it to us. We're gonna keep it about right here, about the speed here. And I'm going to assume he might give us maybe 255. I could be wrong, but we'll assume it's going to be 255. That is what have us directly parallel with the runway. Let's also square up that heading. They should have made this surface area on here better, because when this over here on this heading, when this is with the, where it goes to a hand, that means I can push it in and it'll square up the heading here, so that wherever where the nose of the aircraft is facing, that's the heading. But sometimes it doesn't work, or it's hard for it to work simply because of and I'm just gonna come over here. Let's make sure we get some de-icing on. Let's get the windshield on now.
1350 Kilo Tango, connect Santa Barbara approach 120.55.
Santa Barbara approach 12055, number 350 Kilo Tango.
Power 1, connect LA 133.2.
Alright, so we're gonna do this. 12055.
1510 for back, fire to Palm Springs.
That way we keep our little runway in there.
Skywest 130, no voice came through on that transmission. It's LA on 15.27.
25.27, Skywest 130.
Thank you.
Santa Barbara approach, November 350 Kilo Tango. Information Papa at the field is at 4,000.
Power 2, correction, power 1, LA Center, Clemente, level 280.
Alright, let us shut the music down now.
November 350 Kilo Tango, Santa Barbara approach, Santa Barbara, altimeter 2984, expect visual approach from a 7.
2984, expecting visual 7, November 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, so let's go to 2984.
3,100.
Number 7590800, so got a departure, ident.
Alright, so again, he's got us
Scanner
direct wing. Let's go ahead and turn it into the heading mode. So now it is in the heading
Number 1
mode.
Delta Bravo, connect LA Center 133.2.
So he's getting ready to vector us, of course.
Power 1, yes sir, but resume normal speed. Number 1 Delta Bravo, resume normal speed.
Alright, and it might actually be good we're going to do the ILS. So at this point now we need to change our heading bearings.
Number 1 Romeo, I did not call you.
So now we're going to come over here.
75908 ident.
This is 75908 ident.
And we want VOR1 as well as over here. We want VOR1.
Number 75908 not observed, squawk standby.
If we are going to use the...
standby, 75908.
And here's our V approach. So now we have, it's on FMS, but we should...
Departure is 665 Charlie, Whiskey with you, climbing 2,300 for 2,000.
November 75908 squawk normal.
Squawking normal, 75908.
November 665 Charlie Whiskey, Santa Barbara departure, radar contact, climb via SID, except maintain 6,000.
Climbing with SID, maintain 6,000 by Charlie Whiskey.
Let's change that.
November 350 Kilo Tango, fly heading 260, vector visual approach.
260 for Vector's visual approach, November 350 Kilo Tango. Alright. So,
November 1 Delta Bravo,
260. So we're still on that heading, of course. So 260.
November 75908 radar contact.
75908.
Alright, so here is the runway. So now again, we're basically, you know, pretty much downwind.
Number 3452 Echo,
Of the airport.
Discretion, maintain 1000.
Hopefully our visual situation gets better. Because right now there is no visual except visual clouds.
Dallas 130, resume normal speed.
Captain Geo, how are you doing, my friend? Once again, as always, thanks for joining the stream. Thanks for checking us out. Even if it's for a hot second, we appreciate it. We know life is busy. So any of your time that you guys spend here on the channel, we definitely appreciate that. Alright. So again, the plan is to get off, and even if we go basically full runway all the way down to either Bravo or Juliet, that's where we need to be at those northeastern hangars. And you can see us just rolling right through these clouds like nobody's business.
Power 1, 8 minutes is going to be a little bit tight. I have to get a descent into you before I get you to Oakland. If I can give you the descent now, it'll put you at 240. That's fine, but otherwise I need you back in like 6 minutes.
It's like somebody needed to step away. There's that rain again coming in.
Power 1, descent and maintain level 240. Power 1, and once you're set to level out at 240, you can step away and let me know when you're back.
Alright, so Habit should be at 3,500 feet.
Now once you're set up
so
to
we're only about
24,
500 feet.
If you trust the airplane to level, I trust you not to hit the ground.
That's a very funny. Alright, cruising right along here. Almost there, folks, as you can see.
You have like about a minute buffer. If you're like closer to 10 minutes, we fly into Oakland. If you're closer to 7 minutes, then you'll still be with me.
Alright, so if you come back over here, here's where we are.
It's 130 Captain Los
Here's
Angeles,
the airport. So again, we're downwind. And he's saying it'll be visual, but we'll keep all of our approach information handy, just in case the visual doesn't work out.
Level 300. Number 0 Kilo Tango to center maintain 3,000.
Down to 2,000 over 350 Kilo Tango.
3,000 feet.
Oh, okay, correction. 3,000 feet over 350 Kilo Tango.
Walker 30.
Alright, see, that's where that read back happens. So 3,000, so 1,000 down.
7989, do you have an approach request?
And let's keep our throttles turned back.
RNAV runway 26 for Borrego. Has a 75989er.
75989er, cross Akuro at 5,000, cleared RNAV runway 26 approach.
And at the 2,000 mark, he'll be able to turn us right base earlier, and we'll be able to get down.
Runway 26 approach. Has a 75989er.
The ILS at Naps is supposed to be at 1,500 feet. Goyed is supposed to be 2,700, which is right before our last fix before we get on the 3% down glide slope to the runway 7. Let's fix that range up. Alright, we're almost where we need to be at 3,000. So essentially I'm assuming he's probably going to turn us in this area to get back because we're going to be low enough. So I'm going to keep the speed now at about 190. Right about here. That way once we get our stuff and we need to slow down, that's enough, low enough speed where I can throw out the flaps. And once we start our final approach, we will turn off the de-icing if we remember. Boy, it is a hazy, cloudy day out there right now. Alright, let's double check up top. Landing lights, taxi lights are going to be on already. And we've got the nav and the beacon and the strobe on, of course. We will be turning our engine sync off once we get around. And everything else looks good, guys. Everything else is here. Of course, we always should be checking our oxygen pressure and our hydraulic pressure here. Everything is in the green. Looking good. How did we do on fuel? Well, it's a good thing we did put some more fuel in there because right now we're only about 800 pounds.
Mach number. Run Delta Bravo, maintain Mach 0.74, reaching floatable tree 20, maintain Mach 0.75.
So we're right on here.
3452 Echo to center, maintain 8,000.
We were supposed to be here in 48 minutes. We're at 45, so we're not doing too bad. Keeping our downwind speed pretty slow because he's giving us a visual. I don't want to be going too fast and then he gives us a right turn or something. Speaking of that, let's look and see what our V approach is. So if we go to our refs, our V approach again is 120 and 110. So the weights are probably right around the same as they were last time. And we are good to go there. There we go. Now we got this preset to VOR1.
November 1 Delta Bravo, I'm going to have lower for you in a few more miles if you want to level out at 310 instead of going up to 32.
Got departure, 880 Echo 3000, 270 heading.
November 1 Delta Bravo, I'm going to have to give you lower in a matter of miles. So if you want to level out, 310 is whereabouts you can level out. You're not going to be able to make it up to 32. Calling departure, say again.
Caravan November 5880 Echo 270 heading 3000.
November 580 Echo SoCal departure radar contact, climb and maintain 6,000, turn right heading 360.
See here now it's got the localizer 1, which is the Santa Barbara, and it's already picking it up and recognizing it if we need it.
Kilo Tango right heading 020.
Turn right 020 November 350 Kilo Tango. Okay, there's that base
November
turn
1 Delta Bravo to center, maintain floatable 240.
Here we come.
I figured I'd let you try and get up there. (3452) Echo connect SoCal approach 134.2.
Alright, we are going to go one stage of flaps down now. And let's go ahead and turn our engine sync off.
Number 5880 Echo, proceed direct Oceanside on course.
Direct Oceanside on course, 80 Echo.
SoCal Pilatus 3452 Echo 10,700 descending 8,000.
3452 Echo SoCal approach Burbank altimeter 29er 89er. Do you have an approach request for Van Nuys?
29er 89er, and we'd like to do the ILS Zulu 16 right 3452 Echo.
Alright, slowing that speed down a little bit. So now would be the perfect time to activate the approach, because there is the
November 3452 Echo, roger, proceed direct Umber, cross Umber at 5,000, clear ILS Zulu, runway 16 right approach.
I'm just going to tell him we have the field and we'll do the
Umber,
ILS.
crash, Umber at 5,000.
That's going to be too late.
ILS 16 right approach.
It's going to be too late.
Santa Barbara approach, Skyhawk, November 28 Juliet Whiskey, 10 miles to the east of Santa Maria, to 4,500, request...
And again, we overshot.
November 0 Kilo Tango, turn right heading 070, report the airport and
070, we'll report the field once we have it in sight. November 350 Kilo Tango.
November 10 Romeo, contact Bakersfield approach 118.8.
All right.
Approach 66 Charlie Whiskey, request localizer backcourse approach for Santa Maria.
Number 665 Charlie Whiskey, cross San Marcos at 6,000, cleared localizer DME backcourse Alpha approach.
So for the approach, Charlie Whiskey.
Number 0 Kilo Tango, field 1 o'clock, 7 miles.
Okay, we're looking for the field. We are still in a quick bit of haze here, so we don't have a visual on the field yet for November 350 Kilo Tango.
0 Kilo Tango, roger, reporting 10 miles visibility in light rain, turn 20 degrees right.
20 degrees right, November 350 Kilo Tango.
Calling for flight following out of Santa Maria, say again, call sign only.
Alright, so 20 degrees right.
November 28 Juliet Whiskey.
Number 28 Juliet Whiskey, Santa Barbara approach, squawk 5344.
5344, Juliet Whiskey.
November 350 Kilo Tango has the field in sight.
Number 350 Kilo Tango, clear visual approach, runway 7.
Clear visual approach runway 7 over 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, gear's coming down. Autopilot.
350 Kilo Tango, connect Santa Barbara Tower 109.7. Good night.
Over to tower, November 350 Kilo Tango. Good night to you.
November 28 Juliet Whiskey, radar contact 28, correction 8 mile.
Alright. Autopilot is off. Santa Barbara Tower, November 350 Kilo Tango. Visual runway 7.
Number 350 Kilo Tango, Santa Barbara Tower, runway 7, clear to land, wind 008.
Runway 7, cleared to land, November 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, I got the speed brakes coming out. Gear is down.
Ground, Caravan 228 Mike Echo, is at Martin Aviation on the west side, ready to taxi with India. Number 228 Mike Echo, Townline ground, runway 20 at a Kilo, taxi via Bravo Kilo. 20 Kilo, we'll taxi via Bravo Kilo, 8 Mike Echo. 8 Mike Echo, just confirm 208. Sorry, 208 at Kilo, via Bravo Kilo. Thank you. November 906, Tree Lima, contact SoCal departure, so contacting departure, King Edward Tree Lima.
Alright. Here we go, folks. Gear is down, of course, which is the most important piece of this. On this horrible, horrible approach. And, where I think we're saving it, though, miraculously. Speed brakes are back in. And throwing in a slight bit of power. So if we butter this, we deserve it. Because we definitely didn't get a nice approach. Again, we were kind of... oh well. We're not going to complain.
Number 499 Tree 1, set position on the field. 9 Tree 1 is signature flight west.
Alright.
Number 9 Tree 1, number 16 right, taxi via Alpha Charlie.
Great landing.
16 via Alpha Charlie, 16 right via Alpha Charlie, 9 Tree 1.
Alright. And let's go ahead and apply those wheel brakes, of course. Alright. Whew. Great landing, not butter. But all things considered, we will take it with the last minute vectoring and all that good stuff. So let's come off the field here. And we are on Juliet. Alright, let's go ahead and set that parking brake. Let's clean up the aircraft and let's get those strobes off. And let's get a quick peek and see where we're at. Essentially, we can take Juliet straight to the ramp. And we'll be right at the hangars that we wanted. Santa Barbara Tower, November 350, Kilo Tango, clear of runway 7 on Juliet, and requesting to taxi in to the northeastern hangars there, straight ahead.
350, Kilo Tango, taxi to parking via Juliet and Miranda's frequency.
Okay, parking Juliet, stay on this frequency. You have a good evening, November 350, Kilo Tango. All right, folks. Well, we managed to get here and have 2 great landings. Let's see, aircraft is all cleaned up, and strobes are off. So let's
Tower, runway 20 right at Kilo, cleared for takeoff.
Move right along.
Move takeoff, 8 Mike Echo.
Right here is where we need to stay. And we managed to get our peeps down in one piece. Thank you, Captain Cooper, for saying nice landing. Definitely an interesting approach. And now we can turn them down, of course. Let's turn them down. And you know what we want to do? We want to get some jams back on. All right, folks. Welcome into Santa Barbara. Here is the big building right there that we want to park at. All right, and we're just going to come straight ahead and do our replays. We'll disconnect from PilotEdge, look right clear, look left clear, and right on over here. All right. Parking brake is set. Generators are off. Landing light recognition and beacon can come off. And we can come right down here, of course. And that one didn't want to come off, it's being stubborn. There we go. See what I got to work with? And we have made it in, folks. We are going to go ahead and do a landing replay now. Engines are shut down. Passengers will be disembarking. Let's get rid of the edge to the pilot and disconnect. And of course, you know how we're going to do it. We are most certainly going to do our replays now, and then I will let you wonderful folks go. And we'll call it a day. All right. Not a bad landing at all things considered. Approach wasn't the best. All right. Hopefully we get a nice tower view here. All right. Let's see what we have. You know, we were coming around here on that turn at the last second. We floated her a little bit towards the last little second. We got a little pocket of wind, so we kind of nosed up. So nice. Still kind of right in the center of the runway, which wasn't bad at all. Not bad at all. Let's check that out again for sure. And let's see what we look like, where we're at. Okay. Let's get this view, which I think is very fitting. You can see that water wicking right off those wheels. You can see just at the last minute we reduced the spoilers because we had to do a rapid descent, since basically we got visual of the runway at the last second. and just kissed it right in the middle of the runway, folks. I am so proud of us for making that wonderful, wonderful approach. Now let's go all the way back out and look and see how we did from the passenger view, and then I'll let you guys out of here, of course. Alright guys, we are set up here on our last view of the day, which this is how we ride out. Once again, thank you everybody for joining me here for this Thursday evening stream on the Dre Sanchez YouTube channel here, flying from Lake Havasu, then to Palm Springs, and to Santa Barbara on PilotEdge. Always thanks for your support. Thanks for your subscribership. Pass it on, please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll continue to see what type of fun we have to keep ourselves motivated and give ourselves a little bit of a mental mindfulness break when life gets too serious. Until next time, you guys take care of each other. Be patient, be tenacious, be resilient, be a go-getter, work hard, and then make sure you play hard. We will see you again here next time on the Dre Sanchez YouTube channel, and enjoy this replay. Take care, folks.